Hey guys, okay, so I'm doing another video. I'm gonna do two right now, not just one, because I couldn't do it last week because I had a really bad throat problem where I just couldn't talk. Yeah, anyways, that's not the whole point of this video. So the person I was gonna originally do next, which I was supposed to do last week, was Ernie. So I'm gonna just talk about Ernie and why I put him in the book and stuff. And Ernie knows about this. Sadly, me and Ernie we're not on speaking terms anymore, which is sad to me, but I hope nothing but the best for him. I love him, I miss him. He's always going to be like my brother. And, okay, here we go. So, I met Ernie in 10th grade. He was kind of the new kid in our class for a little bit, and I didn't really talk to Ernie till like 2-3 months into him being at the school. And so when I did, like when me and him did finally start to talk, the only reason why we started talking was actually because we had found out we were in the same homeroom together. And we were like, oh my god, that's so funny. So we're just like, you know what, after second period, let's just walk to homeroom together. So that's kind of what we did. And in those times of us walking and sitting next to each other, in homeroom, we became fast friends. Like, literally, like, we were practically, you could have just said we were best friends around that point. And we were so close that people actually assumed we were a couple when we weren't. Like, literally, there was one person in particular, and I literally had to tell them, who, even though I kind of did not want to, because I kind of didn't want anybody to know. At the time, I had a crush on Caesar, but again, it's not about Caesar. It's about Ernie, and yeah. But Ernie and me became really good friends, really fast. We're like brother and sister, and we've had so much fun together in school and outside of school. Like when we graduated, like he was there for me, like at times, like too, like Brittany and Caesar, like he was there for me too. Like I remember when my mom died, he wanted to be there for me and kind of help me with, like, he suggested a treatment that he thought might work for my mom, but it was in Mexico and he was willing to drive us. And I had told him no, not because I didn't want his help, but it was because I knew the way my mom was. My mom was very, like, she would lash out at people, and I didn't want her to do that to Ernie and his wife Brittany. Not the same Brittany, it's a different Brittany. And me and her, like, I didn't want them to feel the backlash I was getting, so I just did not do that. But so I told him no, thankfully, and honestly, like, Ernie still was there. He messaged me from time to time to make sure how I was doing, see how I was doing, and all that stuff. And it was pretty good to have him right there, and I just really thank him a lot for the things he did, especially when I was in high school. Like, me and him were like brother and sister, always together. We always were able to get through things together. And I remember when I had my crush on Caesar, and it was known to everybody at this point, Ernie used to try to help me get him, even though I would tell him, like, dude, me and Caesar are just friends. And to this day, like, Ernie does think me and Caesar belong together. I don't see it, but he does for some weird reason. But yeah, Ernie's always been there encouraging. I remember the day we graduated and the day he found out he was going to be a dad. I was so happy for him. His son, he has 2 sons. One sadly passed away, and the other one he still has. Like, he's like about 9 now, I think. 9 or 10? No, yeah. He'll be 9 this year. And Ernie's son is the cutest, most intelligent kid I've ever seen. I love him. And he's the sweetest little thing ever. He's just like his dad. And yeah, the reason why I had put Ernie into the book was just because at that time, again, like the same thing with Brittany, like, I needed my best friend, and he was my best friend, and I thought the character named after me would feel a lot more comfortable if she did have a guy best friend. And me at the time when I started writing From Being Normal to Supernatural, I was in class, and like I remember the only people that were in the class with me at the time were Ernie, Caesar, and Jessica. And I remember just staring at them three, because Bernie and me, this is like in 11th grade, and I just remember staring at all three of them three, and like just thinking, what if I wrote them into the book? And originally, so I was actually gonna put Ernie as the brother, and then Caesar was originally gonna be my boyfriend, because again I had that crush on him at the time, but that did not feel right to me. I felt like it would have made a lot more sense if Ernie was my brother, but I don't know, it felt a lot better to me that Caesar was than Ernie. And I feel like Ernie was my best friend, and also too, like, me and Ernie have gotten into many fights to the point where we stopped talking, and him being like his character leaving when that happens, because like, yes, the thought does cross my mind when we get mad at each other of killing his character off, but I would feel guilty if I did that, and I did not want to do that. I wanted it to be where I can still hold on to him, my character can still hold on to him when she needs him. And in the book, like, there's times where my character just needs him, and he just happens to show up, and she's so grateful for it. No matter how mad I get at him, or he gets at me, like, at the end of the day, like, as long as he's happy, that's all I care about. And to me, that's really, like, to anybody I get mad at, like, as long as they're happy, whether I'm in or not in their life, like, I want them to be happy, I want them to succeed. As long as that is happening, I don't really care. And Ernie knows that too, like, and I just love him for that. Like, he's always been there for me. Yeah, me and him have had our arguments, we've had our fights and all this stuff, but at the end of the day, again, it's all about being there for each other. And thank you for that, Ernie. Like, thank you for being there for me in high school, even when I needed you. Like if I didn't have Caesar, I had you, and I'm truly grateful to both of you, and along with Jessica too. Like, I know there was times where she's gotten me through stuff that I felt like I couldn't talk to you, but I know me and you, from the second we met, like, I knew we were going to be close, extremely close. And I'm so grateful for all the memories that I have with you and everything. And I just thank you for everything that you've done for me and allowing me to put you in the book. And I remember the day Ernie found out too that I put him in the book. It was a little funny. So we were in 12th grade, like, Ernie, I'd been writing for a full year, and I had the notebook on the table, at the giant notebook on the table, and he opens it, and the first page, of course, he sees his full name too, and he's like, and he points at it, and like, mind you, he's sitting where I'm at, and I'm sitting, like, this is him, and this is me, and he's just looking at me like, and like, pointing at his name, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're in the book, and he just like, why? I'm like, I don't know, like, I don't remember what answer I gave him then, but he was just a little shocked and stunned, but he ended up being okay with it. He loved the way the story turns out. He always tells me I'm a fantastic writer too, and just in general, in everything, he's like, I'm proud of you at times, like when me and him were talking, and yeah, but honestly, Ernie, thank you. I love and miss you. I wish things were different and me and you can still talk. And I know me and you probably just need to have a good conversation where it's just me and you. But that's only when you feel like you're ready. I'm not going to force you into that. But just know that I love and miss you. I love and miss Brett and your son and everybody. I hope you're doing okay.